Good afternoon, judges, honorable guests, officers, and my fellow cadets. We are from the Ceremonial Budget Airline.
Have you ever heard that our company is going to lower the operation cost?
Oh yes, I heard that the managers are inviting employees to propose ways to cut down the cost, and eliminating jobs is the last thing desired.
No, I don't want to be unemployed. We should get into it.
But where to start with? I've no idea at all.
That's yours?
No. Hold on. It seems useful for our plan. It's mine. Thank you. It seems useful for us.
Oil price reached the peak? Oh, the fuel cost is the main problem. Aircraft are burning the same amount of fuel, but in a high expense.
So saving fuel is the key to cut down the operation cost.
Oh yes, saving fuel. But how to achieve that?
First, let's get to know which system is relying on the fuel support. 1. The electronic system on the plane. You know, rate savings derive from little accumulations.
I know. Why not switching off all the lights on the plane? It's great to see stars with the lights off.
Idiot. I don't understand why our company has employed someone like you. Miss Tea Lady, it seems that you're very annoying also.
Yes, I totally don't understand why you were so stupid. What? Do you have any better suggestions? Of course, you have the calculation of the fuel needed if you want to save more. Think about how much you need for a trip and what does the fuel need for.
Okay, I'll answer your question. Fuel consumption is calculated by adding the fuel required and the recommended extra. The fuel required included the fuel needed for the trip to the destination, the extra fuel which is sufficient for the alternative airport, the fuel for taxiing, the contingency fuel which is about 5% of a trip fuel, the mandatory fuel to ensure that sufficient fuel must be available at all times during the flight, and the reserve fuel which is adequate for the aircraft to stay at a height of 1,500 feet for 30 minutes and carry out an approach and landing.
Exactly. Then in what way do you think you can save more fuel? I know. How about manufacturing the aircraft lighter?
Yes. Let's say not painting the aircraft or using some other materials to construct a lighter fuselage. Fuel will then be saved.
How much fuel can we save with a plain aircraft?
You won't believe it. Using a Boeing 777 as an example, if we leave it with a shiny silver body, 0.3 to 0.6% of the fuel will be saved each trip. On the other hand, the maintenance cost will be higher, but it's still worth in a long-term basis.
What about using material which weighs less? Will that increase the cost?
Okay, I'll use Boeing 777 again. About 2,600 pounds will be saved as composite is used instead of using alloy. Then again, the building cost will be higher, but still in the long run, we save more than we gave.
Great. Any more ways to come? Hey, think clearly. The design of the aircraft will also have effect on the fuel consumption.
I can't squeeze anything out of my brain.
Let me tell you more. If there are ringlets on the aircraft, the drag will be reduced when it comes to operation, like the Boeing 747-400. Winglet can cut down the fuel consumption by more than 10%.
I see.
There is also a relationship between flight path and the fuel consumption.
I know. When we plan the flight path, we should choose the safest and the shortest route.
That's easy. We can simply draw a straight line between the departure point to the destination, like traveling from New York to Hong Kong via the Pacific Ocean.
Your answer is absolutely wrong. We are not flying on the map. We are flying above the Earth. Therefore, flying to New York via the Pacific Ocean is definitely not the shortest route. Flying over the North Pole is the shortest way to New York. And other than that, we should also avoid flying over the restricted areas and the dangerous zones.
Whoa. Then, what about the cruising speed?
That does matter. If you fly faster, you need to consume more fuel. However, The fuel consumption is also positively proportional to the flying hours. Therefore, the best is to operate between the maximum operating speed and the maximum range cruise speed.
I have heard about something called cost index before. What's that? Cost index is the time-fuel relation. It represents the time cost over the fuel cost. If it's equal to 0, that means it's the minimum fuel consumption with the maximum range cruise speed. If it's equal to the maximum number, it represents the minimum time used with the maximum speed, the maximum operating speed.
Yeah, you got it. But it's not always profitable to fly in a very low cost index, as fuel savings are not significant when compared to the time loss.
It's so lucky that you still know something in this field.
I also remember that the CG, that's the center of gravity, will also influence the fuel consumption, right?
Yeah. If you want to save more fuel, you have to shift the loading until it reaches the correct position. The position of CG should be within the envelope. For example, you should avoid putting too much baggage at the nose. We prefer tail to nose.
Hold on, why the baggage should not be placed at the nose?
Hey, when the plane is going to take off, which part of the plane will leave the ground first, tails or nose?
Nose.
What if we put too much nose at the nose? What will happen then?
It may need extra energy in order to take off successfully.
Exactly. So if you arrange the loading to reach the optimal position of CG, you can reduce the drag for as much as 3%. More fuel can be reduced.
Wow, I have never thought that there are many ways to save fuel consumption.
Simply because you don't have a brain.
There's still a lot of things you'd have to mention it.
What if we use electricity inside the aircraft? If we use like to mute carriages or seats, or restrict the baggage allowance, will that help?
Of course! Hey, you finally catch up about the discussion.
How about calculating the fuel we need more accurately? It will also save more, such as asking passengers to check in earlier in order to get the exact loadings. With the latest information for the zero fuel weight, we can run the most updated flight plan so we won't have to use extra fuel.
That's a good idea, since that you have enough to propose to your manager.
Wait a minute. How come you know that many things?
I was graduated from Harvard, Harley-Davidson, and Ford University.
What?
It's difficult to look for a job nowadays in Hong Kong, so I come here to be a tea lady first. I'm trying to find a more suitable job now.
But it's a total waste for you to be here. Why don't you come and join our department? You know, we need someone like you instead of those who sit on her brain.
Well, you better try your best not to lose your job in this period instead.
We have been leaving our desk over 9 minutes. Should we go back? If our have discovered that we have been gossiping in the coffee corner, we will be useful. Cut down the operation costs.
Okay, stop playing me first. Okay, Ashley, thank you very much for giving us so many advice.
You better go back to your job. I don't want someone who commits to be a tea lady with me after her job is being caught.
Anyway, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, how about this newspaper? Oh, this is the latest one. Ooh, the oil price has dropped today. Never mind. Burn less can save more resources and can save our Earth. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you.